I think the good thing about books is that it will expand your vocabulary,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
and think of things very descriptively, you know.
Yeah. And seeing how, because I'm going to try and stop this year, but I usually listen to so many audiobooks and they're fantastic, but
Yeah,
you don't see the way that the words are written,
was
like the
yeah,
way that it's structured, or and it's so interesting. Like I'll listen to an audiobook and then I'll go and grab the book and I'll look at it. I'm like, oh, that's not how I thought it looked,
yeah,
which I know sounds really weird, but the way that the paragraphs are structured and the way that it's all put together. Um, and it's interesting too because I used to play in bands, right? And we were going to lay down a solo once on this song, and I think we'd just been working at it so much that every solo we were doing sounded crap. It was like, oh,
yeah.
this sucks, this sucks. So we put on Aqualung by Jethro Tull.
Hmm.
We're like, oh, that's a fantastic solo, and it turns out the solo was like pretty average. It was like
Yeah,
the song itself that built the solo.
yeah.
It's like the solo exists, but it's because it's in the context of the song that it's a really good solo. Um, and I've just lost my train of thought. But it was like, yeah, where were we at?
Forgot.
Where was I? I was just saying something. No, sorry, just went. But it's yeah, I don't know. It's a thing of no, I've completely lost my train of thought.
We're talking about vocabulary and
Yeah,
words.
right. Vocabulary, words, paragraph. Yes.
Mm.
And yeah, so sometimes it'll be good to open up a book. This is where I was getting at, and see, like a paragraph needs to be there's an idea in this paragraph, then the next
Hmm.
idea is a paragraph, and the next idea. But sometimes I'll be reading a book and I'm like, actually, this person's just merged two complete, like that. Technically, that should be two different paragraphs.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so it's interesting to seeing how people write. That's why I mentioned the solo thing, because we were
yeah,
just like, we're blown away that this solo could be so not average, but it was just like, oh, that's just a regular solo. But because of the context of the song, it was interesting. And the same with a book. It's like that's a really average paragraph, but within the
yeah,
context of the book, that really works.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Anyway,
yeah. Cool thought. Cool thought. Yeah. No, I certainly have my own sort of style. I feel like I can get rhythm, like a bit of rhythm
hmm,
in certain
yep,
paragraphs and certain things. It's just like it probably comes from the fact that I too played in bands and played, writing songs since I was 12. I kind
yeah,
of like that. I don't write things that rhyme necessarily, but
yeah.
but like I have a rhythm to
I was thinking as well with music, as it's like the other week I was thinking about it, where like, so when you're playing in a band and you write a song, like you and your mates will get
yeah,
together, you write a song, and you kind of, because you know your instrument and stuff, you write the song, and it might not be the greatest song in the world, but it's like the song's written and no one really critiques it and edits it. Like it's
yeah,
just that's the song.
yeah,
But when it comes to writing, it's like we feel the need to really rigidly critique it and
yeah,
strip it apart and cut it apart and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about like those pulp writers, those early pulp writers, where they'd kind of just do I still like get editors and stuff. I
yeah.
edit, but it's like they would do like one draft rights. They just do one draft and it is what it is. Like, and they send it out. And if it
Wow.
makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, um, but yeah, like with regards to music, it's a little bit like when you're playing in a band, you would just kind of jam it out, and then you're like, yep, that sounds like really good. Like we've jammed it enough, and then you go and perform it. But
Yeah. But that's punk rock, man. That's punk
that,
rock.
yeah, yeah, and it
That's literally,
works.
yeah.
Like it's the vibe. It works. Yeah.